Hello guys and gals, it's Alan Smith, and I'm going to be bringing you with my good friend and I, Rob Rhodes, on our trip to the 2019 Cold Wars Convention in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. Now on our way there, we made a couple pit stops, and this is the first pit stop. It is the Antietam Battlefield in Maryland, and I think you're going to like it. It was a big impact. I've never been to Antietam, and I've never been to Gettysburg. Now this video will be Antietam, and the next video you need to look out for will be our tour of Gettysburg. So sit back, relax, grab yourself a beverage, and enjoy the excerpts of our Antietam Battlefield tour. Okay, now here we are coming up to the Visitor Center, and just getting out of the car, and you see the Blue Ridge Mountains off in the distance. Now here we are in the gift shop. Great little gift shop. Highly recommend stopping in there. Got lots of stuff, books, t-shirts, lots of good quality things too. And walking sticks if you want to take a walking tour. There's our good friend. He was very helpful. So stop in there and check out the museum. This is the museum portion. Got a great setup there. You can do a driving tour, or you can do a walking tour. And we chose to do the driving tour. It's $15. You see some of the original rifles that were used in the battle. Really interesting stuff. Bayonets. Some more, that was a surgical kit there, an old uniform. Some nice stuff to look around while you're there before you start your tour. Now here's the coup de grace here coming up in just a little bit, where they have a area where you can go up on the second floor and see out into the battlefield. But you can see they got a lot of nice stuff here to check out. You can really get a feel for the period before you take your tour. That was an actual shovel that was discovered. There's a grave marker. You know, on the battlefield they had to get hastily buried in the shallow graves where they fell, and then they would later exhume them and put them in more permanent burials. Pretty enlightening, to put it mildly. Yeah. It was amazing. An old drum. The old canteens. Now here's the view. As you come up the stairs to the second floor, you see this beautiful pavilion out looking onto the battlefield. And you see the cannons off in the distance. They had some Parrott guns. They had some Napoleonic cannons. But you can just see, now this is middle of March. This is the first actual really warm day we've had in a long time. It almost got up to 60. I think it did get up to 60 that day. There was a walking tour there with a guide. But you can see the expanse of this battlefield. And there's the famous Dunker Church. Just breathtaking, breathtaking. Blue Ridge Mountains off in the distance. And you can see as we get out and start walking the battlefield before we go start our car tour, just how undulating the surface of the battlefield was. And that played a critical role in the battle because it was a rolling hills, so it was very difficult for the troops to see what was coming up at them, and they tended to just walk right up onto each other, right? And incur action. So pretty interesting. And here we are at the famous watchtower. You can, obviously walk up there. We were told it was built in the late 1800s, and this is the famous sunken road that was held by the Confederates and attacked. There's the famous peach orchard off in the distance to the left. So you see, we pretty much had the place to ourselves. It was amazing. And this fence line is where the Confederates basically found themselves, and they were attacked by several of the Irish brigades of the federal forces. And you can see there, as a Confederate on the fence line, that there was a slope, a hill there, and those Federal troops came up over that hill, and these Confederates just opened up on them. It was ugly. So we just took a little short stroll down the sunken road, just checking out the different positions, and then I'll have some markers up ahead that will indicate the areas where the Union or Federal forces basically fought into that sunken road with the horrific fighting. Not as nearly as many. I noticed this in the Gettysburg Battlefield also. There's not as many markers for the Confederate troops. Obviously, this was held mostly by the Federals, and they made a good effort to make sure that the Federal monuments were placed after the war. So some Confederate markers, but mostly Federal markers and monuments. Here you go, the memorial for the Irish Brigade that attacked that position in the sunken road. It's a beautiful bronze casting here with amazing detail. As modelers, we just got to revel at this. This is amazing sculptural detail. And we'll go up here, up the tower, up the tower. I don't have the full battlefield tour for you. These are just excerpts. However, you can see here at the top of the tower what a great view of the battlefield you can have. We even had one of the volunteers, the gentleman that we had met in the gift shop there, great kid, came up and was actually telling us a few stories about the battle in the battlefield. All right, thanks for coming along for the ride today, guys. Just a quick excerpt of the battle and the battlefield tour, but stay tuned for that Gettysburg tour. It's coming up on the next video, and Cold Wars is coming soon. Ciao.